As a new war rages on in the Libyan capital, a businessman has opened an art gallery and cultural center, hoping to draw attention to a long-neglected old city in need of revival. One of the best preserved in North Africa, with monuments going back to the Romans, Tripoli's old city has been run down for years, with garbage filling the narrow streets and its ancient white buildings in desperate need of repair.
Most Libyans who can afford it have long moved out of the old city to more modern districts. But businessman Mustafa Iskander bought a derelict house close to the landmark Roman Mark Aurelius Arch, investing 1 million dinars to refurbish it as a gathering point for artists.
I did not receive any funding from any government entity or non-profit organization. This was all done from my personal efforts. And hopefully I can be successful in bringing this idea to life and bringing together artists, intellectuals, and those in our society who are interested in the arts.
He hung paintings and moved in old furniture collected for years in Europe for his center, which is located next to a hotel that was once bustling with tourists who used to come to Libya until Muammar Gaddafi was toppled in 2011. Authorities restored a handful of old buildings and were planning a larger rehabilitation project when the 2011 uprising broke out, stopping the work. Little has happened since then, given the country's chaos, but officials hope to reopen the National Museum housed in the Red Castle from the Ottoman era, closed since 2015 over security concerns. In the old city, a group of young people organized walks to explore sites and build ties with the remaining inhabitants, many of which are West African workers or poor Libyans. Hiba Shalabi, founder of the Save the Old City of Tripoli campaign, says she wants to raise awareness of the heritage in the old city.
The campaign started in December 2018, and more people have joined since then. We introduced them to the old city, the dangers that the old city faces, the historical buildings and the neglected ones. We tell them everything they need to know.
Relying on their own funds and donations, they repainted a run-down wall in white, a small start for what they hope will be a rehabilitation in the future.
Now, with multiple quadruplets, triplets and twins, Miriam Nabatanzi has one of the highest birth rates ever recorded. The 39-year-old Ugandan was abandoned by her husband after she had their final set of twins less than 3 years ago, leaving her to support 38 children after 6 of them died.
It's hard enough being a single mum, but it's much harder when you have 38 children. Miriam Nabatanzi, who lives 30 miles outside Uganda's capital, was married at 12 and gave birth to twins a year later. 5 more sets of twins followed, as did 4 sets of triplets and 5 sets of quadruplets. The 39-year-old was abandoned by her husband shortly after giving birth again 2.5 years ago.
Food is not the only problem. It gets difficult when the children fall sick or even when we need to pay for their studies. I mean all other basic needs, as you know. But I always try to make ends meet.
That means working in anything from hairdressing to brewing local gin. And all the children chipping in to help with chores. A roster sorts out who's doing what.
We feel good. We do whatever our mother asks us to do, even if it means cooking for the younger ones. The older ones usually help with the work when she's not around. She leaves us to take care of the young ones.
The children sleep 12 to a room. The lucky ones get bunks or mattresses. Uganda has one of Africa's highest fertility rates, but with 38 children and 6 who passed away, Miriam's ability to conceive is exceptionally rare. She was warned not to take birth control by a doctor due to an issue with her ovaries, but always wanted a large family after a tragic upbringing. Her 5 older siblings were poisoned and killed by their stepmother. Miriam can now say she's given birth to one of the highest numbers of children ever recorded.
Certainly a lot of mouths to feed. Now, do you remember the picture of 2 gorillas posing for a selfie? Well, the ranger behind the viral selfie says the gorillas who were rescued at birth tend to imitate human behaviors. Take a look.
These gorillas have achieved worldwide fame for their impressive human-like sassy selfie. They went viral after posing for the camera in the Democratic Republic of Congo's Virunga National Park. The ranger behind the impressive shot was walking with the gorillas when he spotted a photo opportunity. He says the primates were behaving like human because they were simply being copycats.
You see that they can walk 1 or 2 meters on 2 legs, but also these animals are so used to humans, they like to imitate and do what people do. This is why people who don't live with them can't understand, but they are incredible to the world.
The gorillas have been cared for at this center since being rescued as babies in 2007.
The gorillas are very precious to us and obey our orders. When they saw me take out my phone, they dropped what they were doing, spotted the camera and watched. This is why the gorillas gave us such a good picture.
The park lies amid the volcanic mountains of Central Africa and is home to more than half of the total population of mountain gorillas. They are endangered and face threats from both poachers and armed groups. Virunga was forced to close last year after gunmen kidnapped tourists and killed a ranger who tried to defend them.